global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you back again. Please, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly do so by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. We are here to give you update on what is really happening in Edo State as the fierce battle between Obaseki and Adams Oshimole. Gov.Obaseki is the governor of Edo State, and Adams Oshimole is the national chairman of APC and the former governor of Edo State. Now, guess what? Their fierce battle is still on, and the whole thing revolves around who is going to be the ticket bearer for APC in the upcoming governorship election, which will take place in Edo State come September 19, 2020. That of Ondo State will be coming up on October 10. So that fierce battle is still ongoing, and it seems nobody is ready to yield to the order. But guess what? With the way things are going on, it seems Gov.Obaseki is the most favored at this point. But though we cannot fully, tell how it will be. But the Edo State Governor Gov.Obaseki has said that the All Progressive Congress National Working Committee, which is headed by Adams Oshimole and controlled by Adams Oshimole, has no power to decide how the party governorship primaries in the state will be conducted. The primary has been scheduled to hold next month precisely. It's meant to be held on June 22nd, with the governorship poll being fixed for September. The APC National Working Committee, which is controlled by Adams Oshimole, has ordered that there should be a direct primary. And it's not for Obaseki, it's not a favorable one. So through his spokesperson, special advisor on media and strategy, Kuso Osage, said that the NWC, that's National Working Committee of APC, could not take any decision on the primaries without the National Executive Committee of the primaries. According to his word, he said that that report was a scoop. There was no meeting of the National Working Committee in which the decision was taken. If Oshimole's camp is having it at the back of their mind that it is what they want to do, they don't have the power to do it. The power to direct the kind of primary to do rest on the National Executive Council. And the National Executive Council at the last meeting decided that because of the dissenting voices, all modes of primary should be decided by the different state chapter, as it was done in Kogi and Bayelsa. In Kogi, for example, they determined the kind of primary they wanted, and in Bayelsa, the same thing happened. So in Edo States, the same method will be adopted according to the rules of National Executive Council. We will now write the National Working Committee to say this is the mode of the primaries that we want. And guess what? Adams Oshimole will not agree to that, because if they already, we all know that APC in Edo State is largely controlled by Governor Obaseki and some of his factional heads. They are the ones controlling it. So if they have to tell APC how they are going to run the primaries, automatically it will be done in such a way that it will favor the current governor. That's Gov.Obaseki. And that is one thing that Adam Oshimole is not willing to see, And the National Working Committee, which is fully being controlled by Adam Oshimole, is saying, no, what we want is absolutely direct primaries, that we do not want anything other than direct primary. And in direct primary, it involves all the registered card-carrying members of the party in each council. And guess what? If that is adopted, I don't think that Gov.Obaseki will, get a small fight from the other open email, because guess what? There are other people who had already been penciled down who are going to fight him fully to ensure they throw him out of that position, owing to the fact that him and Adam Oshomhole, they are having issues. And Adam Oshomhole, being the national chairman of APC, will not sit back to see Gov.Obaseki coming out as the ticket bearer of APC in the September 19 election, which will be coming up. So right now, there is a lot of tussle, but guess what? Most people are in favor of Gov.Obaseki. For example, looking at the former senior member of the party, and also a former governor of the state, and also a former national chairman of APC, Chief John Oyegun, he came out and opened up that the president himself had already penciled down the two governors that's who are going to partake in the humanitarian election. The incumbent governor, Edo State is having their own on September 10. Ondo State is having their own on October 10. So according to him, he came out and told Nigerians that Buhari had already endorsed Obaseki and Akeredolu. And when he was being asked how did he know, he went forward to, open up to the media to tell people how he knew that these two people had already been endorsed. According to him, he said, at the peak of the crisis surrounding the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, you will notice that a peaceful, so to speak, revolution was embarked upon, and there were conditionalities on that, and this has been in the public domain. It has been in the public space. Nobody has denied it. And part of the conditionalities was that these governors, no impediment should be placed on their way. They should be given the right of first refusal, which is normal. They are incumbents. That does not mean there will not be other contestants. But it shouldn't be like the case of Edo State, where there is a deliberate move to make it impossible for him to recontest. For example, there is an official APC in Edo State, and there is another APC loyal to the national chairman. And how do you resolve a situation like that? When he was further asked on what forum Buhari made the statement endorsing the governor for second term. He opened up, he said, these were the things he said. He said, no, nobody made a public statement. There were meetings and compromises that arose then. It wasn't an open statement. Come on, these things don't happen like that. You don't expect a kind of formal announcement from the presidency. That doesn't happen. This was part of the compromise done to settle the dispute surrounding the national chairman. It was done quietly in the boardroom. That's, he said now that the president himself gave Akeredolu and also Gov.Obaseki the power to go ahead, that they were the chosen of the president, and that decision was taken in the boardroom. He went further to say this. He said, it has been in the public domain. I am not the first to say it, and it has never been denied. Don't try to make it as if there should be a publication to that. No, things don't happen like in testy situation that confronted the APC decision had to be made to save everybody's face. Those who needs to know are aware of the situation. That's aware of the situation, talking about the presidency, the president's decision. But note that the compromise was not that only these two incumbent governors should contain. It was that no impediment should be put on their way. Give them the right of first refusal. Those were the words of John Oyegun, who is the former national chairman of APC, a former governor of APC, and also a senior member of APC in Edo State. So what he's trying to say here is that the president had already endorsed Obaseki and Akeredolu, but that the decision was not a public statement made, but it was a decision that was taken in the boardroom. And now, but one thing he's saying is that other people will be given the equal rights to go ahead and contest during the primaries. But the choicest candidate of APC is actually for Edo State is actually Gov.Obaseki and also Akeredolu. So right now, there is still a lot of battle going on, but most people are reflecting back at what happened to Amosun. It came to a point, it was as if Amosun was going to be the number one man. He will come out, but at the end of the day, he lost out. The candidate was aborting. He lost out. So right now, Obaseki is trying to make sure that he cripples the decision of the National Working Committee in respect to the kind of primaries that will be carried out, because he must, before the primary come up, he must make sure that things are put aright. Because if things are not put aright, automatically he will flop real good. Most people believe that Obaseki does not want primary, that's direct primaries, where all the card-carrying members in all the councils are given that privilege of voting, because if they do that, he won't have the opportunity. And he's trying to frustrate it, according to some of the faction members of the national chairman, that's Adam Oshimole. Some of them said that the plan of Godwin Obaseki is that on that day, he will declare that not less than 300 members of APC are actually COVID-19 positive, so that he will frustrate any plan on ground, by the National Working Committee. But however, we are just waiting to see what will happen on that day. The battle is still on, and most people believe also that Edo State, the way things are going on, is heading for anarchy, and that anarchy may end up claiming so many lives. So most people are warning that whatever decision that they have to take right now should be done immediately, so that it will not be a case of fighting. Don't forget that other parties are waiting on the line to see what will become of APC after June 22nd, which is the date for the primaries. All the same, we'll keep you updated about what is happening in APC in respect to the gubernatorial election, which will be holding on September 19 for Edo State and October 10 for Ondo State. Thank you very much.